So recently, I've had a number of women tell me that they are not doing any kind of fertility awareness charting because they heard that it doesn't work for women with PCOS. Well, this is a really simple misunderstanding that I just want to go ahead and clear up right now. Women with PCOS absolutely can use fertility awareness, and they should. Tracking your fertile signs gives you so much valuable information that you really cannot get anywhere else. And you might actually be surprised by what you learn. For example, one of my clients was diagnosed with PCOS. She was assuming that she didn't ovulate every month because she had read that that's very common with PCOS. But once she started charting her cycles, we found out that she actually was ovulating very regularly. And there were other things in her cycle that we needed to be working on instead. If we hadn't started charting her cycle, she would have been totally focused on figuring out how to start ovulating, why she wasn't ovulating, and she would have been completely missing this other thing in her cycle that was way more important for her to address. The only thing that really comes close to charting is if you were to do a hormonal blood test every single day. If you did a blood test every day and you charted out all of the numbers on a chart, it would correlate very well with your fertility awareness chart. So unless you want to be doing a blood test every single day, you absolutely should be charting your cycle, especially if you have PCOS. And even if you have PCOS and you have not had your period for months, even if you haven't had it in like 6 months, you can still get a lot of valuable information from your charts. So I'm not going to go into how to chart your cycle in this video. I have other videos that I've done about that topic that I can link to. So what I want to do today is just explain why this misunderstanding has spread so far and why it is wrong. It is so wrong. So I really think that this misconception is so pervasive because of our reliance on technology to tell us about our fertility. We are relying on apps and devices to tell us what our body is doing instead of observing our body ourselves. The problem with this is that fertility apps usually rely on a calendar method and a predictive algorithm to guess when your fertile window is going to happen. And fertility devices rely on giving you temperature readings, which is a very important fertility awareness sign to track, but it's only one piece of the puzzle. And so you're usually missing out on a lot of other information if you're only doing that one thing. So fertility apps are super popular right now, but they really just aren't flexible enough for PCOS. PCOS does not follow predictable cycles. It can't be fit into a box. It's a very dynamic and constantly changing hormonal imbalance. And women with PCOS often go months in between having periods, and even that can change. You can go from a 45-day cycle, get your period, and then go 108 days before the next one. There is no computer algorithm that can predict what is happening in between that 45-day cycle and that 108-day cycle. There's so much going on. So to be clear, just because PCOS doesn't work well with these predictive algorithms, it is a failing of the algorithm. It is not a failing of you, and it does not mean that you can't chart your cycles, that you can't still be getting information from your body. It just means that you need to use other methods that are more effective for your condition, for what's going on for you. Now, the other reason that this misconception is so rampant is because of fertility devices. There are things like OvuSense is really popular. Temp Drop is another one. And I just heard of a company today called Yono that is in the similar vein, but it's a little device that goes in your ear. So these devices measure your basal body temperature, which is a really important vital sign, a really important fertility vital sign that I do teach my clients to chart because we get useful information from it. But it's only one piece of the puzzle, and the temperature shift that these devices are looking for The temperature shift indicates when ovulation has happened, right? As in, like, once it happens, then you get the temperature shift, and this device can pick up on that and tell you, yes, you ovulated yesterday, or you're ovulating today. But it can't tell you when it's about to happen. And for PCOS, your body might try to ovulate multiple times before it's successful, which is really important to know that your body is trying, right? You want to know that. You want to get that information. And these temperature devices can't really give you that. They can't show you the whole picture. So many of these devices actually have warnings, not necessarily warning signs, but they have something on their website saying that they may not work for women with PCOS. But again, that is a failing of that particular piece of technology. It doesn't necessarily mean that charting in general can't work for you. So what I teach my clients with PCOS to do is to chart your cycle manually. Now, you can still use an app to gather and store that information, but the difference is that we are relying on you to observe the differences in your body. Your brain is so much more powerful than any computer algorithm, and you can notice things about your body. You can be observing so much more than what a device is really capable of doing. So what I teach my clients to do is observe like 6 or 7 different things that are supposed to be fluctuating throughout your cycle so that we can get this really clear overall picture of everything that is happening. An app just cannot observe all of these things, and devices can only observe 1 or 2 of them at a time. So charting your cycle with PCOS does take a little bit more effort than just buying a device or installing an app, but the information that it gives you is so much broader and so much more valuable that it is absolutely worth learning how to do this and taking the time each day to just observe what's happening with your body and make some notes so that you can start to see these patterns in your health. Plus, once you have that skill of learning how to chart your cycle, of knowing what to do there, you can continue to chart while you are doing nutritional therapy or whatever you're choosing to heal your hormones. And then you can use your chart as a ruler to measure your progress. It's really, really amazing. So I just want to reiterate that just because PCOS is an unpredictable hormonal condition doesn't mean that there aren't patterns if you know how to recognize them and if you are willing to put in the time to look for them. You have so much more control over your health and your fertility journey than you have been led to believe. You just have to keep going, keep learning, and know that your body is doing everything that it can. It just needs some support, and we just need to figure out what that support is that your body needs. All right, if you enjoyed this video, please click the like button below. Consider subscribing to my channel for a new video every single week. And if you would like to learn more about how you can work with me, if we would be a good fit, you can find me over at parsleyandpumpkins.com. Talk to you soon.